Hey runners, how's it going? Today I want to talk about your running pace. You know what I found is that most older runners run too fast. What? You may be thinking, how can that be? I'm so slow. I don't run fast. Well, stay tuned and I'll explain to you why I think you're probably running too fast and how to fix it. Welcome to the Forever Runner podcast. I'm your host, Herb the Forever Runner. I'm a heart attack survivor, ultramarathoner, and author. I help runners in their 50s, 60s, and 70s run stronger without injury so we can enjoy more freedom, independence, and vitality as we age. Now, I'm sure you're aware that over 80% of recreational runners experience an injury every year. For us older runners, injuries are hard to recover from and can be career-ending. I'm sure you have friends that don't run anymore. The biggest cause of running injuries for older runners is actually overtraining or lack of recovery between runs. Now this happens because we run too fast and our body doesn't have enough time to fully recover before we go out running again. As a result, over time, those little nigs turn into pains and injuries. But what if you're a slow runner? How does this happen to you? It all has to do with effort or how hard you run. Now, you might not be a fast runner, but if you had bad form, weak muscles, or excess body fat, you have poor running efficiency. So even though you're running slow, you're running too hard for your body. So this is easy to check. On your next run, monitor your heart rate. If you're an efficient runner over 50, your running heart rate should be under 130 beats per minute at your normal running pace. If your running heart rate is over 130 beats per minute, that means you're not very efficient and you're working too hard on your runs. Another way to look at this is if you're running in your zone 3, the dead zone for training, to increase your aerobic capacity and body to burn fat for fuel, you want to do most of your running in zone 1 and 2. You see, in zone 3, you don't develop your aerobic capacity as much and you rely more on added carbohydrates for fuel. This is why even though you run a lot and you run hard, you're not getting faster or losing weight. You should only be going into zone 3 occasionally as part of a race training plan. So what do you do about this? Well, even though you're slow and running too hard, you can eventually get faster, even without more effort. First, start running even slower. You want to do this for 2 reasons. Number 1, you want to get that running heart rate lower, closer to your zone 2 range. And number 2, you want to start working on that running form. So to get your heart rate lower, do what I call a minimum viable pace test. And how you do that is you just go out and run as slow as you can, and then after your run, check to see what your heart rate was. And then use this heart rate as your pace on your next runs. So let's say you go out and you run as slow as you possibly can, and your heart rate is 138 beats per minute. Well, then on your runs from now on, try and stay at or below that 138 beats per minute for your heart rate during your runs. Now, if you go up hills, you'll have to slow down or walk, obviously, because I'll jack it up. But on the flats, you should be able to maintain that pace. Then, to work on your running form, start by standing straight, then jog in place with a quick cadence. Then lean forward at your ankles and take off. You want to be running upright, not kind of bent in the middle, and take short, choppy steps. So I have a video on this on how to run slow. I'll add a link down in the description. And you can also check out Chi Running to learn this technique. They've got a lot of videos on YouTube. But it's what I had to do to correct my running form. And you may feel a little embarrassed starting out. I did. I was running around a lake, very popular running spot, and there I was just chugging along, taking little tiny steps. But as I went on, I could still do that and run faster and faster. And now I'm much more efficient with my running, and it helps. It really helped. But it does take practice and some time. Now, the second thing you want to do to increase your running efficiency is to add at least a couple of strength training sessions per week. You know, the sad truth is that we naturally lose muscle mass as we age, slowing your running pace. But if you work on it, you can actually reverse that and gain strength. And third, if you're overweight, cut out that carb loading before your runs. That bagel or banana spikes your blood sugar and inhibits fat burning. You have plenty of glycogen already stored for your run. You don't need to eat for a run that's only an hour or two long. So if you want to know if you're running too fast or too slow, check your running heart rate. What I found is that most older runners are running too fast. The good thing is, if you work at it, you can effortlessly run faster without getting injured. So if you're a runner interested in enjoying the running lifestyle as you age, then please subscribe and get more tips, specifically for us older runners. See you in the next one.